Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and this time it's another league race video. These are my highlights from Psgl F4, the second round, and here on the screen now is our first quali run in qualifying. Our pace isn't looking that good, so I think top 5 would be just about an alright kind of goal. Because the guys in the top 3 were just like, I don't know, like half a second faster than me, half a second faster than me on the super softs, and about a good 10th faster than me on the softs, whilst I was on the super softs. So yeah, that's absolutely crazy. But here's our lap as we enter sector 2. I like to take some curb on the outside there, just to give us as wide a track as possible. Taking turn 7, I think that was, flat out through turn 8. Now we get up onto the curb, and that's what costs us a little bit of time there. Xavier, our current championship rival, goes fastest on the soft tyres. We're gonna try and beat his lap time the best we can, but as I said, his pace, as well as a few other guys like Warren Haig, yeah, their pace is just off the rails. So later on in the lap, as we come up to the sector 3 intermediate, we actually set a purple second sector, and through the penultimate corner we go, and we get a little bit onto the curbs, and that will cost us about half a tenth there, but that's still a lot of time in F1. Into the final corner, try to miss the curb on the inside and miss the curb on the outside. We do that really well, and as we run up to the line, deploy DRS, and it is going to be pole for us, but it is very early in the session, I think 2 minutes in, but a lot further into the session. We're still on pole with only 4 minutes to go, but we will have to go out for another lap. As you see, we've been knocked down to P2 by Warren Haig F1, and we will go onto our lap with just 50 seconds remaining. So this will be our last lap in the session, definitely, because we definitely won't do a lap in 50 seconds. So yeah, into turn 1, braking just after when the racing line says, and turn 1 taken a little bit worse than what we did on our previous lap, and we're already quite a few hundredths down on our time. And into turn 4 now we go, taking a shallow exit to try and get as much speed as we can, coming into turn 6 and 7, sorry, into turn 8. Taking a little bit of curb there on exit into turn 8, and we make the same mistake as we made on our previous lap, going onto the curbs a little bit. That did cost us a little bit of time, and we'll actually have a little bit of tow from the Mercedes of Tejua, I think that is, in front of us. Yeah, but he does pause it, so it will be a little bit of an inconvenience as we go through the car, go through his car even, and through this long right-hander, taking like basically minimal lock, because with this setup it's absolutely brilliant. Through the on exit of the penultimate corner, we do get onto the curbs, so that does taint our lap time a little bit. Into the final corner, we're going to try and replicate what we did last lap, and we take it arguably better than what we did last lap. And you can see in the top left we've actually dropped to 4th and now 5th as we run up to the line. It's only improvement. It's only an improvement of 3 thousandths. So we will be starting P5 for the Bahrainian Grand Prix. It's race time. We're on the grid for our race. We'll be trying to do a 2-stop strategy here, from the super softs onto the softs and then onto the mediums, possibly. I think our tyre wear will just about be good enough to do that, and we go off for our formation lap. We'll be starting P5, so the outside, probably the best place to be going into turn 1. Most of the incidents happen at the apex, and you see here at the end of the formation lap, we're really just trying to hold up the field, trying to make the leaders wait on the grid for as long as possible. But Friezo does pass us in the end. But as we run up to the grid, we go into our grid start. it's going to be the Bahrain Grand Prix from P5 for us. A little bit of a disappointing qualifying session, but we're going to have to put that behind us as we build up to 5 red lights, and it's lights out. Away we go for the Bahrain Grand Prix from P5. Warren Haig has a pretty good start on the guys ahead of us. We look to the inside, I'll switch back to the outside for turn 1. There's a Mercedes of Tejwa who absolutely flies into turn 1, and we're actually caught in a sandwich with Tej, ourselves, and Flying Chrome. And that is not the start to the race that we wanted. We dropped down to second to last. Only Chrome is behind us, so we're going to have to mount a massive comeback if we want any points this race. But we're on the back of LFC for life, just on the end of lap 2, and we try to fake to the inside, but it's a little bit of a silly move from us as we hit the back of LFC there. And we're lucky for us, we don't actually get any damage from that, and we cut the corner and don't get a penalty, so that was absolutely awesome. But on lap 4 now, we've actually caught up to LFC, and we make the move on him down the front straight into turn 1. We're later on the break, but that might not benefit us that much as LFC gets a better exit on us, but we do have the grip through turn 2. But later on in lap 4, LFC goes for a massive dive on us, and we actually have to take some avoiding action so that that Red Bull does not steam into the side of us, but we retain P8. But we pit at the end of that lap, and we're going to be going onto the soft tyres, and then onto the softs again, and then at the end of the race we're going to be equipping the super softs for a 3-stop, not a 2-stop. So yeah, because of that little incident that we had at the start, our strategy had to be changed big time. But we exit the pits in P12, right on the cusp of points, and we're right behind Ij Simo here on the end of lap 6. He goes defensive, and we just drive it around his outside. A really nice move, and we are up into P11 now. As there are a few cars in the pits, we might come out ahead of them. I think we will get out ahead of Mr. Grumpy, and we go right to the inside. So we go right to the inside, so Simo does not get our slipstream, and we're promoted into P10 because those guys ahead of us did pit, and we're actually on the back of Musical Venom, another person who pitted, but he did come out in front of us. But because he's on mediums and we're on softs, we do have the superior pace on him for the time being. And on lap 11, we're right on the back of Clyde here. We fake to the inside like we tried to do with LFC, and this time Clyde does slightly buckle under the pressure of the fake, and we get the DRS on him down the front straight, and it's a pretty simple move. But I think in a double whammy for Clyde, Musical Venom is actually going to go up his inside at turn 1. Yes, he does. We're going to have to see how this one turns out, because Clyde might be losing 2 spaces in the matter of 2 corners and a straight, and he actually does. Musical Venom does come out on top in that battle between himself and the Ferrari. But on lap 13, we are going to have to defend from Musical Venom. He seems to lift off coming into turn 1. We go to the inside, but we just about can't return to the outside. I know the guys in Psgl are a little bit picky about that, so we opt not to do that. We got onto the curb at turn 3, and and Musical Venom has a better exit than us. Into turn 4, we have the outside line, really close between both of us, but we do retain P3 now, as loads of people ahead of us had pitted. But we will be pitting very soon. And on the end of lap 13, Musical Venom looking outside, we actually go defensive and return to the racing line there. But we will be pitting because the tyres are pretty much falling right off the cliff. So yeah, we peel into the pits this lap, and we will be going onto the softs. We will be going onto another set of the softs, and then we'll be pitting later for the super soft tyres. We come out in P8 there. Tejwa goes right past us, and Genetics behind us. One of the guys that got promoted with me up into F4 from F6. So yeah, I know him. But just a little bit later onto lap 14, and we are right behind the Mercedes of Tej as we come into turn 9 and 10, and he goes really deep into there, and it turns out that he had a puncture, so that is us up into P7, and that will be actually the last car that we see at all that race. So we go 15 laps without seeing another car, and we come home in P7. I think a pretty good recovery drive from P16. So yeah, P5 on the grid to P7 in the race. Of course, we did have that first lap incident, so that is not too bad. But if you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and comment and subscribe. I've been Elite Crashy, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.